Good day to you. This is teacher Leland, Alejandro. This is going to be some notes for pre-algebra MA3119A. For the start, we're going to have addition of integers, which we can find in the other screen. Now, we're going to begin with the examples so that you will understand right away how to do this addition of signed numbers or addition of integers. This is related to your work in the software Genuity. So let's begin with the positive first. So under addition of integers, adding positive integers, we will start with the first 5 examples. The first one is 2 plus 4 plus 3. This is how to add when all of them are positives. And this is the simplest, of course. So 2 plus 4, you have 6. 6 plus 3, that should be about positive 9. Then next number 2, we have 3 numbers, 5 plus 6 plus 2. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 2, that should be positive 13. Next is number 3. 4 plus 4 plus 3. That should be 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 3, that should be a positive 11. Then we go to the next. Number 4. We have 9 plus 2, 11. 11 plus 3, that should be about 14. Next, let's have number 5. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the answer for number 5 is positive 10. So this is how to add positive integers. Very simple. Just get the sum and let it stay positive. Next, we're going to add negative integers. Now, in adding negative integers, it's the same as when you're adding positives. Only when you have the sum, after adding all the negative numbers, you will have to prefix it with a negative sign. So let's have number 1. Number 1, you can see negative 2 added to negative 3 added to negative 4. They are all negative numbers. So we will simply get the total and then prefix the negative sign. So negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus negative 4, that should be negative 9. So this must be negative 9. So that's the way to have the sum of all negative integers. Next, we have number 2. We're going to add negative 5 plus negative 6 plus negative 7. So these are all negative numbers again. So negative 5 plus negative 6, that's negative 11. Negative 11 added to negative 7, that will be a negative 18. So the answer here for number 2 is negative 18. There. Next, we have negative 3 plus negative 2 plus negative 9. These are all negative numbers. So we simply get the total, then we put the negative sign. Negative 3 plus negative 2, it's negative 5. Negative 5 plus negative 9, that's negative 14. So this must be negative 14. That goes to our number 3. Number 4, we have negative 4 plus negative 6 plus negative 8 plus negative 1. We're going to get the sum and then put the negative sign. So negative 4 plus negative 6, that's negative 10, plus negative 8, that should be negative 18, plus negative 1, that's negative 19. And then for our number 5, still addition of negative numbers, negative integers. We have negative 8 plus negative 5 plus negative 3 plus negative 2. What should be our answer? All right, let's begin. Negative 8 plus negative 5, that's negative 13, plus negative 3, that's negative 16, plus negative 2, that's negative 18. So our answer here is negative 18. There. Next, we're done with addition of positives, and we're done with addition of negative integers. So we're going to have the combination. We're going to have the combination. It's down here. Adding positive and negative integers. So how are we going to add positive and negative integers? All right, here's how we do our combination. If you have positive numbers, positive integers to be added to negative numbers, then you have to add the positive numbers first, and then add the negative integers, and you're going to have two groups, after which the rule is to get the difference, and then that difference will carry the sign of the greater number. All right, let's do the first number. You have positive 2 plus negative 5 plus a positive 7 plus a negative 6. Okay, here's the solution. We're going to gather the positive numbers first. So we have 2 plus the 7, the other positive, and then we add, so this is one group. Okay, we have collected in one place the positives. We're going to continue adding the negatives. So we add the negative 5 plus the negative 6. There. So we're going to add the positives first. This is going to be 2 plus 7, that should be 9. And then we continue, add. We are now going to add first the negatives. So negative 5 plus negative 6 is negative 11. So we're going to add here 9 plus negative 11. There. And so the rule is when you have now a positive number and a negative number to be added, okay, to be added, then instead of getting here something like 20, you're not going to use 20 here because they have different signs. So what you're going to do is get the difference. And the difference is 2. And we will take the sign of the 11 because 11 is higher than 9 in absolute values. Okay, so the answer here must be a 2, which carries a negative sign. There. Again, how did we get 2? It's the difference between 11 and 9. And that's 11 minus 9. That's the difference. And then we shall choose the sign of the greater number in magnitude, which is the 11, which carries a negative sign. So after getting the difference of 11 and 9, which is 2, we will take on the negative sign because 11 is greater in magnitude compared to 9. So the sign of the 2 is negative. So I hope you were able to get the rule in adding positive and negative integers, and we shall continue with the second example. All right, for the second example, number 2, negative 8 plus a positive 4 plus a negative 6 plus a negative 1 plus a positive 5. Remember, when you see a number without sign, like the number 5, that's a positive. The 4, there's no sign, there's no negative, it's a positive. Okay, so when you don't see any sign in front of it, it's understood positive. So we're adding negative 8 plus positive 4 plus negative 6 plus negative 1 plus 5. So just like in number 1, we're going to collect first the positives. So we start with positive 4, and then we add to the other positive, which happens to be the 5. And then we continue with our addition. This time we will place the negative numbers in one place. So we start adding the negative 8 plus the negative 6 plus the negative 1. There. And so we will add the positives and then add the negatives, and then we will now process that. So let's add first the positives. So 4 plus 5 is 9, positive. And then we add now the negative numbers to be added to this positive 9. So negative 8 plus negative 6 plus negative 1. That should be negative 15. And we already know how to add negative numbers. So we just add and then put the negative sign. So to add these negative numbers, it will be 6, 6, 8, and 1. That should be 15. And we write the negative sign there. So after having now the positive total 9 and the negative total 15, we're now going to get the difference because they have different signs. So we're going to have here 6, but the sign of the 6 will be the sign of the greater number. And that should be 15. That's the greater if you take the absolute value. Okay. So our answer should be a negative 6 here. Again, you should be able to identify and learn that particular process. So when you have to add one number positive and the other is negative, you simply subtract and then prefix the sign of the larger number in absolute value. Okay. So next, let's have number 3. We now have positive 3 plus negative 2 plus negative 4 plus positive 6 plus negative 5. Again, we're going to continue grouping this to positive numbers first. So 3 positive plus the positive 6 and no more positive. After that, we're now going to collect the negative numbers now. So plus negative 2 plus the negative 4 and plus the negative 5, the last negative there. So we're going to combine the positives. That should be 3 plus 6. That should be equal to a positive 9. And then we add the sum of the negatives. All right, we have 2, 4, and 5. That should be about negative 11. So 9 plus negative 11. There. And so to get the sum of this positive and negative, we will get its difference, which is 2, and then write the sign of the greater in magnitude. The 11 is greater in magnitude. So you put there negative 2. That should be the answer for number 3. I hope you were able to get the rule in getting the sum of positives and negative integers. Now let's have the next one, number 4. Let's have number 4. Okay, we have positive 7 plus negative 6 plus positive plus negative 9 plus negative 2 plus 11. Okay, 7 plus negative 6 plus negative 9 plus negative 2 plus positive 11. So we will start again with the positives. 7 plus the 11 plus, let's collect now the negatives. So we will take the negative 6 plus the negative 9 plus the negative 2 there. And so we continue. We add the 7 and 11. That should be 18. And then we add the sum of the negatives. All right, so the sum of the negatives is negative 6 plus negative 9 plus negative 2. How much is that? That should be negative 17. So we're going to continue with negative 17 here. There. So it's now 18 plus the negative 17. Again, we have two groups. One is positive, one is negative. We will have a difference of 1, and the sign will be the sign of the greater. Which one is greater, 18 or 17? 18 is greater and 18 is positive. So this number 1 remains positive. That's the answer. And so we will now have to do number 5, the last number for our addition of positive and negative integers. -2 plus -3 plus -4 plus +8 plus +9 plus -1. Let's get the answer. Just like the other numbers, we will collect the positives. We will have to start with the 8. That's a positive. Plus another positive. Let's look for another. That's the 9. And then plus. Okay, no more positives, so we will now get the negatives. Okay, we shall get the first one, -2. So that'll be plus -2 plus -3 plus -4 plus -1. There. Okay, so we shall continue with solution in another line. Okay. All right, the positives 8 plus 9, that should be about 17. Plus, we shall now add the negatives. Okay, -2 plus -3 is -5, plus -4 it's -9, and then plus another, that should be -10. So we have here 17 plus -10. There. And so we're going to combine these two, 17 positive plus -10. And we shall get the answer like the difference is 7. Sign of the larger, it must be 7. Okay, how did we get that? 17 compared to 10 in magnitude, assuming the absolute values. Okay, 17 and 10, the higher is the 17. And the rule is, if they have different signs, we will subtract. And so the difference between 17 and 10 is the 7. Now 17 is higher, so we will carry and use the positive sign of the 17. So the 7 is a positive. That's our answer for the last number. Okay, so I hope you were able to get the rules. Addition of positive integers, addition of negative integers, and then this is addition of positives and negatives with combination. So next we're going to have some simple worded problems over here. Here's number 6. Some simple worded problems here. In problems like this, we're going to consider direction. Okay, direction. One direction is positive, the other opposite direction is negative. So let's read the problem first. A swimmer located 3 meters above sea level dove 11 meters down into the water, then swam up by 5 meters. What is the position of the swimmer with respect to the sea level? Okay. In solving problems like this, we will have to have some reference point, which we will set to 0. In this particular example, the sea level must be the 0. And then above this should be positive. And below this should be negative. So if you're going to read the problem, swimmer located 3 meters above sea level. So that means the swimmer is already above the sea level. It's a positive 3. So for our solution here, we shall start with a positive 3. There, without any sign. That means it's positive. It's above our reference point sea level. So it's positive 3. Now, assuming that positive 3 is the jumping board, and the swimmer dove 11 meters downward direction. So that means plus a negative 11. There. We will take going up positive, we will take going down negative. And then upon doing that, okay, the swimmer swam upwards by 5 meters. So that's going up again. So that will be going to the surface. So that'll be plus positive 5 there. What is the position of the swimmer with respect to the sea level? We're now going to combine these positives and negatives, or positive numbers and negative numbers, and come up with the answer. If it's a positive, then the swimmer went above the sea level. If it's negative, it's below the surface. Okay. All right. So this will now be the solution. We're going to combine now the positives. We have 3 and 5. That's 8. And then we're going to add the negative 11 there. And this will result to a negative 3. And this will be in meters. The negative sign means it's 3 meters below sea level. It's 3 meters below sea level. That's the meaning of that negative sign. Okay, again, it's 3 meters below the sea level. That should be the answer for number 6. So you were able to apply what you learned from the addition of positive integers and negative integers in this particular example. Now let's have another example over here. All right, number 7. This time we're going to have an elevator example, and we're going to use the ground floor. Remember, there are floors above the ground floor, and there are floors below the ground floor, which are called basements. Okay, basement 1, basement 2, basement 3. Okay, that depends on how many levels below the ground floor. Okay, let's read the problem first. A room boy positioned on the ground floor in a high-rise hotel took the elevator to service a hotel occupant 12 floors up, then went down to see his car at the basement parking lot, which is 2 floors below the ground floor. Afterwards, from the basement, he went up 7 floors to his second customer occupant. Question: what is the current floor location after all his elevator trips? Okay, so this is how we analyze the given problem. First, the room boy started at the 0 level, okay, and that will be the ground floor. And then he went up 12 floors. And then he went to the basement 2, that's second level below the ground floor. That means 12 and 2, it's 14. It's 14 from above. That's 14, like that. Because you have to go down 12 and then 2 more levels. So that makes 14 in downward direction. And again, we will take downward negative. We will take upward positive. Now, upon reaching the basement, the room boy went up 7 floors. So that's a positive 7. All right. And then we're now ready to answer the question. Okay, here it goes. For our solution, we shall start with a positive 12. And then just like what I said, it went 2 levels below the ground level. That means 12 and 2. That makes negative 14. There. And then from the basement to, okay, the room boy went up 7. So this will be plus 7. So this will be a combination. So we're going to add positive integers and negative integers here. So we will start with the 12 plus the 7. And then we have the plus negative 14. There. And so we continue with 12 and 7 is positive 19. And then we add this to the negative 14, which gives us a difference of 5 there. That means after doing those trips, the room boy will be on the 5th floor. So that should be the answer. There. There, okay? That should be equal to 5. There. That goes to our number 7 example. Let's have the next one. Okay, this is about temperature. The instrument to measure temperature is the thermometer. And here's the problem. A thermometer records the morning temperature at 55 degrees. At lunchtime, the sun went up and the temperature rose up to 6 degrees more. And then in the afternoon, approaching sunset, the temperature went down by 12 degrees. What is the temperature in the evening? What is the temperature in the evening? Okay, so we have a positive temperature when it's going up, and when it's very, very cold, it will go down. It may become even negative. Okay, so the solution for this problem, we will get the positives and negatives, then we will add. Okay, we shall start with 55 degrees above zero. That should be 55 degrees. And then we add at noon, it went up, okay, by 6. And then it went down in the afternoon by 12. There. So this will be our working expression, and we shall complete the answer. So we will add the positives, 55 plus 6, that should be about 61. And then we add the negative. And this should give us 49. So this will be 49 degrees. So this will be our last problem. I hope you were able to learn from these examples so that you can do your Genuity exercises and working problem sets there. I hope this will help. Okay, class, bye-bye. This is your teacher, Leland. See you next time.